So this is a short summary on Carl Thompson's defining the genre. So, uh, so he starts with the idea of how travel, as is considered as a movement or an encounter. So he begins the essay by defining travel, that is, broadly as any journey, whether it is grand or modest in scale. So it is any journey, whether it is simple or it is, that is called travel. And he emphasizes that travel inherently involves encountering differences and otherness, which requires a negotiation between alterity and identity. So alterity means feeling of otherness. Now, when you go to a foreign country, you feel othered or you feel like another person, the other. So that is otherness, and identity is you feel, attached, or you feel that identity, similarity of identity with the people of the country that you visit to. This negotiation is fundamental aspect of travel. So there is an interplay between alterity and identity. Now, travel writing as a record, when he talks about how travel writing is a record, there he describes it as a record or product of this encounter. So you encounter with a new country, you encounter with the people. So he talks about it, and it narrates events directly or implicitly that reflects new perspectives or information acquired through travel. So this is what he talks about. And travel writing thus has a dual aspect, according to Carl Thompson. It reports on a wider world and reveals something about the traveler and their culture. So, first he talks about how travel is a movement or encounter, and then he talks about how travel is a record. Now, what are the challenges in defining the genre according to Carl Thompson? There is ambiguity and diversity that he talks about. So Thompson, he acknowledges the difficulty in providing a neat definition of travel writing due to its intrinsic heterogeneity and complex relationship with other genres like, autobiography, ethnography, and fiction. So travel writing is characterized by its formal diversity and thematic range, encompassing everything from diaries and essays to philosophical treatises and political commentary. So that is the first aspect he talks about, ambiguity and diversity. Then he talks about taxonomic debates that happens. There is no scholarly consensus on what constitutes travel writing. Some, like he says, Paul Fussell, argue for a narrow definition that equates travel writing with literary travel books, which are retrospective first-person accounts with pronounced personal and subjective element. Now, what do others do? They take a more inclusive approach, recognizing various forms of travel-related documents and cultural artifacts as travel writing. Then he talks about the exclusive and inclusive definitions of travel writing. So Paul Fussell, influential work distinguishes travel books and other travel-related texts like guidebooks or exploration accounts, and he emphasizes the literary dimension of travel books, which are read for pleasure and aesthetic merits, and not just for practical information like the guidebooks we have. Then there are broader perspectives that he talks about, where critiques challenge Fussell's narrow view, arguing for a broader conception of travel writing that includes a wider range of travel-related texts. So they point out the genre's formal and thematic diversity, its borrowing from multiple disciplines, and its fuzzy boundaries with other genres. So then Carl Thompson, he talks about the hybrid nature of travel writing, where he first starts with formal and thematic hybridity, where travel writing is considered to be a hybrid genre that straddles categories and disciplines, and it accommodates various forms from personal narratives to academic treatises and incorporates elements from history, geography, anthropology, and social science. So this hybridity, it makes it challenging to define where travel writing ends and other genres begin. Now, the literary value and intellectual status is also something that he talks about. So debates about literary value and intellectual status of travel writing are central to understanding the genre, according to Carl Thompson. And some travel writings are seen as high literary forms, while others are considered sub-literary or merely functional and the genre's diversity and complexity of its forms and modes contribute to the ongoing discussions about its place in literature. And to conclude what he speaks about in the essay, Thompson's essay, it offers a comprehensive overview of the challenges and the debates surrounding the definition of travel writing, and he highlights the genre's diversity, its complex relationship with other genres, and the various ways scholars have approached its study. And by mapping these debates, Thompson provides a nuanced understanding of travel writing's scope and nature, emphasizing its role as both a report on the wider world and as a reflection of the traveler's identity and cultural context. Okay, so this is what the essay is about. That's all for the session. Thank you.